This channel's content is intended for people over the age of 13. If you are under that age, please leave now. Thank you.
As we eventually call it, marked the beginning of the war against the machines. Skynet attacks happened almost daily. The attack that happened on that day was like nothing we'd seen before. Come on. Where are the others? Where's the rest of the resistance?
I don't know.
No!
Listen to me, you want to live. Get under that bus, now! Keep moving, quick!
Right, I'm going to talk about this Terminator Resistance game. Better than Terminator Dark Fate in just about every conceivable way, because it's no trying to replace what came before it. It's a supplementary game set in the future war during the T1 and T2 era of the film franchise. Now, this is what James Cameron should have done in the first place. After T2, he should have just done the Future War movie with John Connor and Kyle Reese. John Connor and Kyle Reese fighting their way to destroy Skynet and then sending Kyle Reese back to 1984, thus creating the everlasting loop of this nonsense piece. And then we could get a wee glimpse of life after the fall of Skynet. But no, what James Cameron did in his infinite idiocy is sell it off so that a bunch of substandard sequels and prequels, I think that's what Salvation was, could be made. Big mistake, buddy. So then he gets the rights back to Terminator in 2019 and we're thinking, great, the original creator's got his rights back, he's going to maybe come back with a strong Terminator movie just to sort of round it all out. Nah, he just sells it back to who had it before because he wants to focus on his 4 Avatar sequels. Like, what? Right, who cares about Avatar? I mean, the movie was okay, but I don't want to see another 4 of them, and they keep getting put back. Meant to come out last year, there was one. The second one was meant to come out this year. New, it's 2021. So like, James, you've absolutely royally humped this, and you've let some dickhead make another really subpar Terminator film, and then I found out there was a game coming out. I thought, oh god, is it a game based in this new shite film? No, it's no. Thank God. That's all I can say. This one's based on the first 2 films. It's the Future War. So you play some guy called Rivers, who's Jacob Rivers, who's a private in the Resistance. His whole team gets wiped out in Pasadena, and you have to escape. And that's where the game starts. Now, I was a bit unsure of the title at that point. I thought, oh, something seems a wee bit cheap. The animation's not the greatest. It reminded me a lot of Resistance 2. Remember Resistance 2, the Revolution or whatever it was called? Aye, that shit. It's better than that, but it did remind me of it, so there was a wee bit worried. But the worries have been alleviated. The more I played the game, the better it got, and the more I started to really enjoy it. After you escape Skynet in the start of the game, you'll jump on a bus, and then you'll get to another area, and you'll get like a wee sort of centralised hub, and that's where you do all your missions from. And there's side missions as well. Side missions will appear as blue markers, and the main missions is yellow markers on the map. And like I say, your areas are explorable. It's not really open world by any stretch, but it's like a Darksiders Zelda type openness, you know? So you can do a bit of backtracking here and there. I don't think you can backtrack once you've advanced to the next level, but you can do it within the level while you're there. So you start with machine guns, and the machine guns are ineffective against T-800s. Luckily you don't really see many of them before you start to get plasma weaponry, so you'll destroy like spider bots and there'll be flying drones you shoot down, and there's a bigger version of the spider bot, but it's a lot tougher in actuality. And you can also craft things in the game like medkits, pipe bombs, even ammunition for all your weapons, which is pretty cool. And you'll get red plasma and purple plasma for the plasma guns. So the red one is the first generation, and then the purple is the second generation, and you need to put skill points into your weapons tree to unlock the ability to use them. You can pick them up, then it'll just say, you lack the required skill, blah blah blah. Aye, there's RPG-like elements just like every other game out there. The voice acting, it's a bit cheesy, but it's a budget game, it's an indie game at its heart, so I wasn't expecting any great shakes in the voice acting department, which is fine. The music and sound effects are great though. Now the sound effects are just taken from the film, so they should be good. I think some of the soundtrack is as well, but the main theme that plays over the title screen in the game has been reworked, so it's like a more rocky version of the Terminator theme, which, yeah, I'm all about. I really like it. It's the first time I've heard the Terminator theme used, probably since, what, T2, T3? Was he using T3? I can't remember. Probably not, probably T2. So it's weird that it's not appeared until now. And this game is entirely, so far, set in the future, and it really opens up when you rejoin the Resistance. There goes my Discord. Damn it. Ah well. Small little hiccups like that will not spoil the broth today. So I highly recommend it. I did think they made a mistake when they priced it the way they did. It should have been $29.99, not 60, 40, whatever, 50, whatever it is you pay. You'll pay full price for it in your region. But if you are a big Terminator fan and you want a more B grade, sort of tier grade type game, you'll no really do wrong getting this. But persevere with it through the first couple of hours because it is a slow burn. It's not as slow as Death Stranding though, but it's also not got the polish of that. It does look like an upscaled PS2 game, but I'm not really caring about that. It's fun to play. That should be the first thing you look for in a game. Is it fun to play? Yes or no. If it's no, then it doesn't matter how it looks or runs. You can limit the frame rate to 30, which I have done because it's all over the shop. If you don't, so I recommend getting that old frame rate curtailed to 30 if you're playing it on console. If you're playing it in PC, I have no idea what it's like. So this is my little look in the window of the Skynet future that we might face. You never know. I hope you're all well, and I will see you in another video. Goodbye.